If you're a residential builder and you focus on renovations and extensions and anything to do with home improvement, stay tuned in this video because I'm going to run through the 3 things that we did with this client of ours, this new client, to enhance their leads, to create a sales and marketing system, and to help them build better trust and authority. Stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Matt here from Tradie Web Guys, and I'm really excited to bring you this case study because this is a 3-month snapshot of a number of different systems that we've been able to deploy for this relatively new client of ours located up on the northern rivers of New South Wales. When they came to us initially, the problem they were trying to achieve was the lack of inbound leads. And this is a really common conversation because as builders typically, and maybe you relate to this if you are a builder, you're pretty heavily dependent on word of mouth and referrals, which is not a bad thing by any measure. But you normally see within that business model a real up and down when it comes to the leads you're getting, and no real control over, consistency when it comes to inbound leads and inbound traffic. Now, it's not always a bad thing, but it certainly does make life a lot easier when you've got a system in place which can help you generate regular leads, and more importantly, generate leads that are qualified and quality. Through our foundation program, we were able to help this client achieve a number of things. First of all, build out a complete sales and marketing system so that they have got regular inbound leads consistently coming in, and I'm going to show you that in a second. The next thing is have that system neatly defined so that they can deploy follow-ups and they can have their contacts running through defined systems, pipelines, and being able to manage them accordingly. And then the other part of that is, and we see this becoming very relevant with especially larger businesses that have a larger sales cycle. So builders are a key example of this because truthfully, a home renovation project, it could, from the point of time when somebody comes initially to them and the point in time where they actually decide to pull the trigger on it, that could be months or years even. So you want to make sure that you're building trust and authority within that time frame so that come the time when that individual is ready to pull the trigger on the project or perhaps even revisit it, then you're front of mind. The first thing here I want to show you is the lead management system. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of systems. One of them is the backup system that we set up for clients. And the first one is actually the system which collates these details. And you can see here, these are the leads that are coming into the client's system. They're also being able to pull these into defined an opportunity pipeline. The ability here is, okay, we can look straight at this pipeline and we can see, cool, these are leads that have come in recently through the ads. These are leads that we've contacted. These are leads that we've attended sales calls for. These are ones that have been cancelled, so on and so forth. So it gives you guys a lot of control over different stages of your sales cycle, which is super, super valuable. The other thing you can do, and this client hasn't specifically done it, it's a little bit harder with renovations because it's not so much like cut and copy in terms of project cost. So for example, like a solar company, for example, they might have an average ticket item of 21 grand. So you can apply, like a lead value to the individual, but with renovations, it's a little bit different because they will vary, but you can have pipeline value here. So this lead, for example, if they did go and do a scoping session or whatever it is, and they figured out, okay, well, this project's typically in the ballpark of, 100 to 200K, you can actually have that in there as a pipeline value, which means it would be reflected in here. And so, at which stages of your sales pipeline, how much value is actually sitting in that. That's a really 30,000 foot overview of a fraction of this tool, which we call the hub. But it is an important part of setting up this process because generating the leads is pretty much useless unless you have a system to bring them into. The next thing I'm going to show you is the backup system. So over here, we can see like when these leads come in, we also set them up with a backup system here so they get notifications through Slack. And this is not necessarily, this is purely just there as a backup. So the client goes, okay, cool, well, when they get notifications here, they also get them through in the Slack channels. So it's just peace of mind. Now, in order to really improve their trust and rapport and really help them position them as an authority within this area, which is like the area they've chosen they want to dominate, the northern rivers of New South Wales, which is a amazing spot for a builder. We went through and we rebuilt their website. Now, their old website wasn't actually that bad, but it didn't really, it was missing a lot of things in the space of calls to actions and key messaging, project case studies, so on and so forth. Like, it wasn't too bad, but you can see here the website that we've rebuilt them. There's a really clear messaging on there. We really dialed in on their vision and their mission and their values and things like that, because that's the kind of thing that when you're dealing with a large sales cycle, people really want to get to know, who are we potentially going to be spending our second largest ever investment with, before they go ahead and pull the trigger. And again, like in the space of SEO, just making sure that all the, the keywords are in the right place so that it shows up in search, just ticking all the boxes there from that side of things. So this website is absolutely brilliant for them. And it's going to make a huge difference once it goes live. And then the ability as well, looking forward, so we can showcase more of their work when they complete a project, really get all that updated and make sure that we can then use that content in things like email nurture campaigns and so on and so forth. So anyway, all in all, if you are a builder and they're the type of things that you are looking for, I would thoroughly encourage you to tick the following boxes. Make sure that you have a system in place to generate leads. You don't want to be completely dependent on word of mouth. And yes, a word of mouth lead is always going to be better than a cold lead that comes through some sort of marketing avenue. But having that peace of mind, knowing that leads are coming in, is a huge benefit to you guys, because it's just one less stress you have to worry about. When is that next job going to come from? Truthfully, you don't know that, but when you've got the leads coming in, it's definitely peace of mind. Having the sales system set up for you guys so that you understand, okay, these are the contacts that are coming into my system, and this is how we're nurturing through the process. Again, very, very important. That's pipeline opportunity management is just such a revelation to any business, because it makes everything so crystal clear as to where those contacts are lying within that sales cycle. And last of all, you've got to make sure that especially if you've got a product like renovations or building or whatever it might be, you really want to position yourself as an authority. So it's imperative that when that lead or that contact does some research on you, your online footprint is a true representation of the caliber of the business that you are. Anyway, guys, I really hope that was helpful. Head across to tradiewebguys.com.au. Reach out to us if you want any more info.